Hi, it's Mike with EdTech Creative, and this is the second video in our At a Glance series with Google Slides. If you missed the first video, it is available on this channel, and in it we took a look at the top toolbar for Google Slides. This video we're going to focus on this toolbar right here, so let's jump right into it. I have a presentation that's open, it's blank, I just created it within Google Drive. This is the only slide that's available right now for me. So moving from left to right, this little button right here, there's two things we can do with it. If we just click on the plus, it will add a slide in this format with a title and a text. If I want something other than that format, I click on the drop down arrow, and then you can see the little options that I have. Let's say I want to add that one. I click on it, it will add it, and then I want to add this big number, and it will add that as well. So that is how you can quickly add slides to your Google Slideshow presentation. From the moving over from the left to the right, we have the printer icon, which allows us to print. We've got the popular undo button, which undoes your last action, and the redo button that redoes the previous action. This guy right here, which is grayed out, is called a paint format. And what this does is it will copy whatever formatting you have and paste it into another area. So it's not activated right now because I have not formatted any kind of text. These two options right here are for zooming. So if you want to take a look at your slideshow in a different layout or a different zoom factor, you would use these buttons right here. This section right here has to do with things that you would add to your slideshow. This is the select tool, so you notice it's an arrow, and as I click on here, it activates these areas and allows me to add titles, to the presentation. So it's the most common tool, the select tool. If I want to add a text box, I click on there, and then I just click and drag on the text box, and then I can input some practice text. Spell it. Okay. So there's some practice text right there. And I can move that around if I want. I can take and drag it down here, move it over here, resize it by just clicking and dragging on the bounding boxes there. If I would like to add an image, I can click on the image icon here, and I've got some options here. I can upload from my computer. If you're on a regular PC, you may have some images saved to your computer. If you're on your Chromebook, more likely that you may not have as much saved on your computer. And I am having issues with connection, so bear with me here. Okay, we're back. So the next option is the inserting an image, and if you click on it, you can see the options that are available. Upload from computer, search the web, drive, photos by URL and camera. If you're on a PC or a Mac, upload from computer is a viable option because you may have something stored on your local device. If you're on a Chromebook, more than likely you're not going to have too much stored on your device, but just to kind of give you an idea of what this looks like, if I choose upload from computer, then I can just click on an image and go to open, and it will put it in the presentation for me. And I can resize it and move it wherever I want to. The other options are searching the web, which is a nice little feature. I'm going to search for penguin. So let's say I like that penguin. I click on it and go to insert, and it's going to put the picture of the penguin inside the slideshow. The other options are from the drive. So I would choose drive, and it's going to pull up your Google Drive. It's going to start with recent, and then you can go to my drive and try to search your folder for something. I'm going to choose my living room couch because it was right there. So there's an example of what my living room couch looks like. This is being added from drive. And then I can add from Google Photos as well if you use Google Photos, and I do. This is a school account, so it's got a bunch of school stuff on there. We'll just choose that one and insert it. So it's going to search your drive, and you can insert images from your drive. By URL would be if you have a specific URL that you have copied from a website, you can paste it in there. I'm not going to do that for the sake of time. And then the last one is camera. This is a feature that was just reinstated. And if I uncover my webcam here, you can see there I am. I can take a snapshot and put that into my slideshow as well. That was a feature that Google did take away, but they reinstated it a few months later. So those are all the options for inserting images. The next item on the toolbar are the shapes. If you click on it, you can see all these different shapes that we can add to your presentation. So we just choose a shape and click on it, and then I can manipulate it and move it as I need to. Notice that once I've done that, I get all sorts of new things that appeared. This is the fill, so if I want to change the color, I can do that. This is the outline, so if I want it to have a blue outline, it will outline the smiley face in blue. This is the thickness of the lines. This is the type of line. Here we've got font type, font size, bold, italics, underline, font color, highlight color. That's getting ready to change, by the way. I can link to this by choosing this and then typing in the URL and then clicking apply if I want to link out from that specific image. I can add a comment. So if I'm sharing this and collaborating with someone else, if I click on this, I could say, look at my smiley face, and then comment on it, and then click comment, and it will put that comment in there. It's a nice way to interact with some of your fellow colleagues or students that may be collaborating on the same assignment. Moving over, this is justification. So you've got left, center, right, fully justified, and then this will align it from the top, the middle, and the bottom. This is line spacing, very similar to what you'd see in a word processor. Here you have a numbered, bulleted list. If you try to record a screencast while your son is playing Fortnite on the PS4, they don't play well together. So I apologize for any kind of issues, choppiness, or distractions that is happening while I am working on this Screencastify. So back to my smiley face. You've got a numbered list, a bulleted list. You can decrease and increase indent, and then you have different format options right there. Now notice that activated once I selected an object, and the same would be true if I typed some text in here. So if I just typed text and I clicked out of it, notice those options went away. But as soon as I click inside that box, they reappear. So the Google Slides is aware and responsive to whatever you're selecting in order for you to customize whatever you're trying to work on. This little guy right here just hides the menu. So if you need more space to work on, you can click that and it provides you a little bit more space. So let's go back a little bit to the shapes, because that's where we were at. We have different types of shapes you can see here. You've got different arrows, you've got callouts, and you've got equation for mathematical functions. You've also got lines that you can draw. So you've got regular lines, arrows, elbow connectors, curved connectors, curves, polylines, and scribbles. These are helpful if you're doing any kind of diagramming or like mind mapping. So if I create a, let's just create a blank slide. I want to create a, let's create a rounded box here, and we're going to create another one. Let's say this one is a circle, and I want to connect them somehow. Then I would go to this and do a maybe a curved connector, and then I just click here and then come down and it automatically grabs it. So this is a good way to create some nice professional looking diagrams. And then I can go in and put text in these items, and I can change colors and things like that. So there's a lot of different options you can use for customizing things. This is for commenting, and we already discussed that. The other options here are background. If you'd like to change the color background of your slides, you can click here and change it to a specific color. Click done, and you can see that it changed the color of this particular slide. You can also choose an image if you would like to put an image on your background. You have the same options that you had previously: take a snapshot, pasting a URL, grabbing from your albums or from Google Drive, or searching the internet as well. So you can insert an image that way, or you can also reset back to back to where it was when it began. Layout has to do with the different slides that are available here. Theme is that there are some pre-built themes in here that you can choose, and it kind of customizes your entire show with these themes. So let's say I choose this. It's going to go in and it's going to change the look of all of these slides. Now this one's a blank slide, so it didn't change it, but you can see how it kind of modifies the slides depending on which blank slide template you used. So if you would like to change the theme, the look of your slides, this is where you can do it. You can also import themes from other locations if you'd like to do that. Transition is the transition between slides as well as animations within the slide. So let's, for instance, if I want to animate any of these objects on this slide, then I can click on Add Animation. I want to select the item first and choose Add Animation, and then I've got some different options here. Let's say I want to zoom in. I want to do it when I click it, and I want it to be super fast. So then if I click play, when it loads up the slide, if I click, it's going to show me what the animation is. So you can add animation for all of these objects or some of the objects. You can also add transitions, and that is the transition is between slides. So for instance, from this slide to this slide, if I want to add a transition, I can say let's dissolve that. So if I want to see what it looks like, I can click present, and this shows me my slideshow. I click for the animation, and this should be the transition. There's the dissolve into that transition. So a lot of features that you're probably familiar with using other types of presentation software. The last thing would be down here looking at your slides. If you prefer a different view looking at your slides, you can click here and you can see a grid view of your slides as well. So you've got a grid view, and then you've got a film strip view. Notice the things here. This denotes that there's a comment, and this shows you that you have some animation involved in this slide. So that is the toolbar for Google Slides. Stay tuned for the next video as we'll start to dissect what each one of these menu items are for Google Slides. Thanks for watching.